Welcome to the West to West podcast. My name is Wesley T. Gerard, and this was a mistake. Daniel.
And I'm Daniel L. Fuentes, and I also think this was a mistake.
You know, Dan, when I thought about doing this, I didn't think we'd have to actually try. I didn't think I'd have to invest $50 into a microphone for a podcast I wasn't going to end up doing. But here we are, Dan.
We've put a lot of effort into this.
Honestly, it's been a great 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since we've wanted to do this.
I feel like it's been 2 weeks since we first started thinking about it.
Probably. I keep telling Logan I wanted to do it, but we never ended up doing it just because I'm lazy as fuck. But now we're here. And then my friend wanted to do a magic podcast with us, but that went nowhere. But yeah,
See, I have nothing better to do. So
that is an absolute lie, you law student.
But this is more fun.
This is more fun. You're right, Dan. So how was your day today, Daniel?
Today was pretty good. I went to get brunch with two of my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went to brunch. Wow, look at me.
Wow.
Then I helped mow the lawn. That
All
was
right.
fun. And then I took a nap for 3 hours. That was the best part.
What a law student.
How's your day, Wes?
It's been pretty good, Daniel. So I started today waking up in a panic attack because I wanted to do the audition.
Mm-hmm.
An audition for a Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at the Greensboro Community Theater. Always go support your local theaters. And I was going to do Schadenfreude from Avenue Q, which absolutely...
Oh, yeah. I remember remember hearing about that.
Were you the bastard that...
I was one of the people that said yes to that poll.
Okay, you weren't the no then. I'm trying to figure out
no.
who the no was, and I'm going to beat... Or I'm not going to beat him senseless, because it might be someone that's not in our friend group. So I went up to do that, and I've been practicing it for the past 2 nights, because I was originally going to do a song from Catch Me If You Can called Man Inside the Clues, but that just is boring. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sing a song that was meant to be performed by a black woman with a tenor voice.
And how'd that go?
I think it went pretty well, honestly. I messed up at the very end, and I had like a bad karaoke soundtrack that just kind of like kept moving the tempos, but it went pretty well, honestly. It went pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
that's good.
Here on the West to West podcast, we both have a topic that we're going to talk about and discuss more about our lives and stuff. We don't know how long this is going to go, and we don't even know if we're going to do a second episode. I hope we do.
I hope so. We have so many stories to tell.
We do. But we both have one topic each for now prepared. Dan, I know that you picked yours right before this because I told you I went to Olive Garden today. So what's your topic, Dan?
Well, I actually have a new one than the one you're expecting. Let me just get my
mixing it up on me.
Let me just get my notebook.
This wasn't in the script, Dan.
Let me just get my notes. That was just a piece of paper. There was nothing on it.
Dan, I know.
Okay. So I wanna hear your take on something, Wes.
What's my take?
Like, so I grew up in a Hispanic family, right? So one thing that my family and I do, and that I think a lot of families do, is that, all of our neighbors, they grow fruit trees, right? And a lot of the times they hang onto your side, like your backyard, right? Like there's a fruit tree in your neighbor's house, but it leans to your side. Would you take the fruit? Would you take the fruit from your neighbor's tree?
All right, so I feel like this is a good time to talk about why the podcast is called West to West. Daniel lives in California, and I live in North Carolina, so we're very, very far from each other. Mm-hmm. And apparently, cultures are very different there, because I've never fucking heard of that in my entire life. I have never. I don't know a single person that's ever had a fruit tree, unless you're like a farmer. I mean, I guess like strawberries.
You're missing out.
Dan, are you admitting to like grand theft fruit?
No, it's on my side, right? It's on my side. It's on my backyard.
Yeah, but you didn't grow the tree.
Here's my segue to it, okay?
Okay.
So a lot of the times when I'm bored at home and no one's home, I like going on walks around my neighborhood.
Okay.
And it's a nice neighborhood, like, and it's been sunny here. Like, there's no clouds in the sky, so it's really nice. And the
Mm-hmm.
way that I go like pretty far from my house, and this there's this house like maybe 10, 15 minutes away, and on his front porch, like, or not even the front porch, like the side of it, he's got a lemon tree. And there's a sign that says private property. Do not take from the lemon tree. And
I,
every time I pass by it, I take one lemon.
Dan, it just sounds like you're being an asshole.
No, no, okay. What's he gonna do with all the
Honestly.
lemons, Wes?
Dan, there's obviously a reason he doesn't want you to
No.
touch your lemon.
Look,
If he has
listen,
a sign right in front of the tree.
No, 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 no. I've seen the man, okay? He's like a grumpy old dude. He doesn't need those lemons. So I take
Dan,
one lemon.
just because you don't think he needs the lemons, Dan, doesn't mean you can take them.
Well, what's he gonna do? He doesn't know. He's not gonna listen to this, is he?
He's definitely not going to listen to this. But, Dan,
So, that's
fucking...
a normal thing. If there's a fruit in your reach, you just grab it. If it's on the tree.
Is this some sort of metaphor I'm just not getting?
No, no, it's pretty normal.
So,
Like, no, okay. Not even the other day, like the last time I was down here from break, I took our mutual friends, Logan, Parker, and Jacob, on a walk, and I took them by the lemon tree. And Parker
And
also
did they
took
steal-
the lemon.
Parker's an asshole too, then.
Parker took the lemon, or at least he wanted to.
It's just a remarkable setup. I know this has got to be a fucking joke.
It's not a joke. No, we just walk around and there's a lemon tree and it says, "Do not take my lemons." So I take one lemon. And I've yet
Oh,
to
see,
be...
I see. You're going by like, you're trying to like, you're a law student, Dan. So your goal is to find loopholes. See, he says lemons, and you're taking lemon.
Yeah, see, one lemon at a time.
That's still stupid.
But
Dan,
look, it's rebellious. Listen, if he didn't want his lemon tree to be taken by passerbyers, he wouldn't put it right on the edge of the sidewalk, right? Why would you put it there?
Yes.
It's literally hanging onto the sidewalk. It's not like I'm walking onto his front porch and climbing up a tree to get the lemon from the top.
Do you know how long it takes to grow a tree, Dan?
Probably a long time.
Probably a long-ass time. Maybe, like, this decision... Maybe he didn't even know it was a lemon tree.
It says lemon written on it. The sign. It says lemon.
The tree has the words lemon on it.
No, he's got a sign. I told you. It says, "Do not take the lemons." So I take one lemon.
All I've learned from you today is that you were a thief.
No. Listen. He doesn't need all those lemons. He's the 1%. All right? I'm Robin Hood in this situation.
Are you selling the lemons you get, or are you just eating them?
I'm just eating them. Well,
You're
making
eating
lemon. No, I'm making lemonade out of them. I don't just bite into it like an apple. What kind of freak do you think I am?
I think you're a lemon-stealing thief, Dan.
Am I a lemon-stealing whore?
Yes.
You're right. And I'll do it again. I'll do it tomorrow.
Stop stealing this man's trees.
I'm not taking his tree.
It's
still there.
Lemons.
The tree isn't being damaged in this exchange. I'm just taking a little lemon. It's like taxes, right? You know?
Dan, he could call the police on you.
Over a lemon. What's he gonna do?
Oh,
I'll give him the lemon back. I'll give him the lemonade.
I see. He just runs out. Like, hey!
I feel like that's exactly how it would go down.
That's my lemon!
He looks like that kind of dude with that kind of voice and that kind of attitude.
He's like muscly. Like he's hunched over when you see him on the porch. But the moment he like comes up, he's got like triceps on biceps. And he's got like 3 arms. Like you don't know where the third one came from, but it's there. And it's ready to beat the shit out of you.
He's walking with a cane, he throws the cane away, and then suddenly becomes buff as hell.
Yeah. The cane
That'll
was
be
just
the day.
limiting his powers.
Listen, next time you come over, I'll take you to the lemon tree.
I'm not stealing this man's lemons.
No,
man.
you don't have to. You can just look at it, so you know what I'm saying.
I can be a standby.
You could be an accomplice.
Accomplice to your fucking.
Yeah,
lemons.
you can reach the high ones. You're like 6'5".
I'm 6'1".
All right. Tomato, right?
Tomato. Are we done with this topic?
All right, I'm done. I'm glad I got.
I like the other one you had so much better.
I like this one.
Bringing back the dead meme of like tier lists for restaurants, and then you hit me with like, "Oh, I'm a lemon stealing maniac."
It's not like I go every single day and take a lemon. I don't have a horde. I'm not a dragon.
This isn't like your day-to-day routine, like you're walking the dog and there's
no. Sometimes I walk by the lemon tree and I don't.
And then you grab
lemon.
one. Oh, so you restrain yourself. I see.
Yeah. Some days I'm like, do I want a lemon today? And I just yoink.
It's not about the man's feelings. It's about if you want one or not.
It's about the principle, Wes.
You just walk into a bank's vault and just. I'm not gonna take the $1. I'm not gonna take the stack.
Not today. Not today.
I'm just not feeling. It's not about like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. This is a crime. It's not. Nah.
How much value do you think's on a lemon, Wes?
I could go to the store and probably buy a lemon for less than 50 cents.
Right.
Probably not Walmart, but like maybe like a local thing. I don't know. Best Way probably has them for less. All right, Dan. So I feel like our listeners need to understand us more, and I feel like
they understand that I steal lemons sometimes.
Yeah, we understand that you steal lemons, Dan, but we have a past on YouTube. We have an extensive history that goes back to, I want to say 2010. I don't know when you started. So
I think around that time, right?
Around that time. Me and Daniel, when we were kids, we used to make separately, and that's how we all came together. We made it's stupid now, but Super Mario 64 machinimas, which were like videos where you made your own Mario colors, and then like you had adventures, and he's like everything was like text. It wasn't like voices or whatever.
There's no voices or anything, unless you really want to go that extra mile.
Unless you were like Machinima, who actually pays people to do it. I started at our friend Riley's house, and I made one at his house. I made another one when I was home. It was called they used to call me Draco. That was stupid. God, remember when you used to call me Draco?
That's what you wanted to go by.
I know.
That was your little internet name.
That was my internet name. That was my persona. So, Dan, I don't know a lot about how you started doing Super Mario 64 Machinima, so I'd really like to ask how you did start.
I mean, I'm actually looking at my videos right now, and the first one was 9 years ago. So
2011.
2011, which is still nearly a decade ago, right?
Yeah.
Which is wild.
What was that first video?
It was a trailer for the first series that I was making that I gave up. No, actually, I think I finished this one. I tried making a sequel to it, but I gave up on it. And I remember I canceled it by saying like, "Oh, it's canceled," and it was a 1-second video on YouTube. That's how I canceled it.
I remember your first video being a little bit different. It was a still image of Kenny.
You're talking about the first video.
No, I just remember that video, but I meant Super Mario 64.
Like, I think the first video I had on YouTube was a still image of Kenny from South Park, and I thought it was funny at the time. I said, Kenny wants you to blow up. So then I had a fucking video of an explosion after that, and that was the video. I thought that was hilarious at the time.
I'm going to set my alarm to that video. I don't think there's any music in it. I think it's just a still image.
I don't think there's
really
I think
weird.
it's literally just a still image. I don't even think I had I don't think I had any like recording software on my computer either. So I literally just used my home camera.
So you just took a picture of it and
actually I don't even think it was a picture. I think it was a full-blown video of it still.
Oh my god. I'd watch it right now, but like I'm not going to get scarred by it again. I did a lot of like Mario 64. Like the only thing I did, there were two things. I did trailer promises that never came out, and then introductions to my videos. And that's the only two things I would consistently do.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single episode had like a different like intro. Like I don't know. I used to use is it Project 64? Is that like where we all recorded?
I think that's where you could emulate the game.
Yeah, it's where you could emulate like all the the Nintendo 64 games. So I just took a bunch of like random footage from like the early parts of like just random games I had downloaded, and I stuck them all to a video. I remember my catchphrase. You had
a catchphrase?
Yeah, I had the dumbest catchphrase.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you had a catchphrase.
It was, "Did I win?"
Oh wait, I do remember that.
I used to say that a lot.
Fucking vaguely, I remember that.
I also said the word epic way too much.
I think everyone did, right?
But then
it was 2011.
That George Lucas movie came out called Epic, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not ever saying that again. I didn't even see that movie, but it's just like
I didn't even know that movie existed until you told me right now.
No one does.
No one does.
You wouldn't think George Lucas was on that project. I don't think he wanted to be on that project. I have no idea. I have not heard anything other than it's George Lucas, and it's like an animation from like DreamWorks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I really want to watch that movie. We should watch that movie.
Let's watch that movie.
I had an urge the other day. We were doing some like test recording just to see just to have all this like equipment ready for like a full blown episode.
Mm-hmm.
And you ended up doing the Dan comic over it, but I really wanted to do a Super Mario 64 over it just for good old time's sake. But
see, I don't have access to that stuff anymore.
I could definitely try to set it up. It would just take like more time than I want to ever see.
Right.
I don't even want to think about my color code. That's what they called the colors of Mario. Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember I really just didn't like editing. I liked making stories and everything, but I didn't like actually filming it and editing it because I felt like it took too long.
I feel like that was most of the Super Mario 64 community's problem. Unless you're like, you've got the equipment and you know what you're doing. It was really just like, you're just doing it because it's like everyone else is doing it and you want to say something funny. Dan was much more popular in the Super Mario 64 community than I was. So he got the hot takes from all the celebs. My favorite one is definitely Mario 54321. Who was like, I might be wrong on this, but he was the most popular making those videos.
He was like the guy from Spy Kids 3.
He was the guy. He was gold too.
He was Elijah Wood.
He was Elijah Wood. He's like, from what I've heard, he's so condescending. Dan, can you tell me about that Skype call you had with all like the famous YouTubers?
Yeah, so I never really interacted
the YouTube Rangers, if you may.
I never interacted with the guy that much. I kind of only knew him through proxy from my friend Matt, who was Luigi Game 2. Like, I spoke to the Mario guy occasionally, and he put me in some of his videos, which back then was like a big deal, even though I was like, I don't really care.
The collabs were really
impactful
in the community. That's how you get to know it. It's still a thing on YouTube, I'm pretty sure.
I remember, like, when I was in those Skype calls, they were really awkward. Like kind of cringy. And I think they took themselves way too seriously, too. Like, I know some of them still make content, and they're like in their late 20s or something. I remember that's what we found out the other day.
Right now they're in their late 20s, or they were in their late 20s?
I think right now they're in their late 20s, but that means, like, in 2011 they were, like, in their early 20s, almost 20.
Like, in college kind of deal.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's fine. It's whatever gets you going, but I remember this one story. There was I think his name was Bulby. Oh, excuse me, microphone. He posted a couple videos. I don't know how popular he was, but he was a good friend of someone in the community. It might have been Luigi Game. It probably was Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of the blue one day, he posted his nudes on YouTube. Just,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Do you know who I'm talking about though?
The name's familiar, but I don't remember it.
Like, I didn't watch the video, but it was like just a thumbnail of someone naked in a bathtub.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and I'm assuming he was young, which is
that's
much worse. We talk about very serious things here on the West to West podcast.
Yeah. What a good start.
I'm still amazed at how you can how do you crush a career, not even a career, just like
it's not even a career,
just like built up on like Super Mario 64, and just end it with you naked in a bathtub.
That's what a way to go.
What a fantastic world we live in, Dan.
See, I'm pretty sure they're also not even doing that well, because remember a couple months ago we watched one of the Mario guy's videos, and like it was just kind of weird, and then I started reading more drama about him, how he was fighting with someone else who still makes those videos.
I didn't hear about that.
I just think it's wild, because he had an apology video, and I watched that, and I read the comments about it. I don't remember what they were arguing about or who he was arguing with, but it's just kind of funny to me that literally a decade later, well, they also started before us, so they've been doing this for longer than a decade.
Oh, yeah.
That they're still doing that today. And enough people
they don't do it that often though.
They don't do it as often.
I can't believe that's still like a thing though.
No, yeah.
Like the first thing that really started off the Mario 64 craze was an episode. I don't even want to call it a craze. It was just something stupid that some people came attracted to. There was a Machinima video that was like Mario gets hired, and it was entirely done in Super Mario 64, and I think that was like the starting point of it.
Mm-hmm.
That video is really well done, but none of the ones after it were. Most of them, at least.
Right.
I gotta say, probably my favorite video, Super Mario 64 video online, is definitely Daniel takes a little sip of wine.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a classic.
That's a classic, and it's going to be in the description now that I've said it. I hope I remember.
See, because you were right that I was kind of more closer to those people. Like, I wasn't famous, but like, I had a good bit of I had like a semi-big following, so I interacted with those people sometimes. But honestly, every time I did, I hated it.
Yeah, they don't see... I had a conversation... I want to talk about Roblox in a second, too, while we're on the gaming trend.
I love Roblox. Good times.
I messaged I was a young, stupid fanboy kid for him for like a long time ago, and then I just kind of gave up on all this fan craze. But I messaged him during that little time period of mine, saying, "Hey, can you help me build this?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah, he wasn't the nicest dude. I mean, he was nice to only the people he was close to. Like, if you were just a random person, he would basically spit on you.
I mean, I get the whole, you don't really want to be close to your fans and more close to people that you can relate to.
You don't have to be a dick about it, though, right?
You definitely don't have to be a dick about it. But
and he definitely was.
I don't know how he talked to other fans. I really hope he listens to this. Just some random fucking...
Somehow, some way.
Super Mario 64 YouTubers come back just to publicly shame Mario. I don't know if he had a real brother, but in his videos he had a
I know what you're talking about.
Luigi 67890.
I don't even know. You're right. I don't know if he had a real brother, but he was there.
I'll move away from the Super Mario 64 because I did talk about Roblox for a second. Did you know I was in an army in Roblox, Dan?
Weren't we all?
Were you in an army? I was in something.
We have a mutual friend, John, and I remember I was in his army at one point.
Oh, I was in like a full-blown, like, basically the Marine Corps, but it's in Roblox. Like, it was so weird. And then, like, the leader, he actually went off to, like, military school.
That's wild.
And, yeah, it was pretty wild. He was a chill dude, though. I was a corporal in that army.
We should explain what Roblox is. It's still going on today. But it's basically like, it was a kid's game where you could go on levels that people make. Like they made them, and they could be like platforming levels to role-playing games and that kind of stuff. That's kind of where we spent most of our time in our early days.
I like to describe it as the Unreal Engine meets Minecraft.
You know, if you think about it, it's
like
really like Mario Maker, right?
Mario Maker, but Minecraft. But I guess Minecraft is also Mario Maker. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
You're talking about your army and how the dude actually went to military school.
He did go to military school. God, I made so many like actual enemies in that army. I hated so many people in that group, except for like the main dude. The main dude was really the only reason I stayed because he was really nice. I tried starting after that like faded away and I left for a year. I tried starting making my own army and this dude just came up and he's like, "Hey, I have more kills than you," and then he left my server. And I remember that moment very, very much because then I spent the next 2 days going on like the main like sword fight map, I guess, just grinding kills. But I sucked at the game, so how did I get corporal rank like that?
He really just spat at you.
He did just spit in my face. I had like my own T-shirts made. I completely forgot what the army was called. Yeah, what were your favorite parts of? That's how we met Jessica too.
Yeah,
you remember the Sonic RP server we used to just dick around on?
we went to a Sonic roleplay server a lot, and
Oh.
we had like a whole group, and that was fun. You know,
We weren't actually. Let me like make it sound like we're not the lamest people alive.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're pretty lame, but
We're
not
pretty
that
lame,
lame. We're
but we
not
weren't
that
there
lame.
to seriously roleplay. It was just, I don't know.
Like we kind of just dicked around.
That game was more of just a background thing than anything else.
Yeah,
The
it was
entirety
mainly
of
just a
Roblox.
place where we could hang out. Like it's not like we were actually trying, and I think that's what made it fun.
You could be so many characters in that RP server, though. You could be
I wonder
like,
if it's still up.
I'm sure it is, but I bet it'd be hard to find.
Let's go on it after this. You know,
Okay,
Let's
I'll
have some
try to.
fun.
Let's go in. let's go in an obby, Dan. Let's do an obby.
Let's do an
My
obby.
My favorite ones are the wipeout ones.
Oh, obbies were basically like obstacle courses.
Obbies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start like I'm
the
gonna.
wipeout ones were good.
I work at a. Oh, that gives me an idea. I work at a entertainment farm where they have like axe throwing escape rooms and all zip lines and stuff like that. They're looking for. They just bought new land. Maybe I should suggest them. Hey, let's make an obby. They're like, that's a good idea,
That's a
Wes.
good idea. You're fucking
Promoted, and I'm like,
Pro-
yes.
Can watch people jump around and then fucking
And then when
die,
they get to the
'cause
end,
that's
they
what
can
would
just
happen.
they can just at the end they get a prize. They get like the admin room.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
They used to have these things where you could just be like the Silver Surfer and fly around on the map, but you also had like a lightning bolt power, and you just kind of killed people while they were trying to do the obby.
Just a fucking asshole to everyone.
God, I hate that game so much.
Man, what a good game.
Very differing opinions on the
See,
subject.
I was the
matter.
admin person killing you. That's why I enjoyed it.
Well, I think that's enough time for now. We've talked enough bullshit.
That's a good way to end it.
I hate Daniel Fuentes. I don't know why
I love
we do
Wesley
this.
Gerard.
We're never doing this again. We'll see you next week. Thanks for
Goodbye.
watching West to West, sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Use the code Daniel Fuentes is a bitch.
No, that's
You'll
not a
get
real
free-
code.
you get a
Don't
free
tell them
epic
to use
champion.
that.
It's like something amount of silver. We're not actually sponsored by this. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
Have a great day. Bye.